What is going on, people? Welcome to Throw Down Your Questions, episode 307. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo.
And Brett Murdoch.
What up?
All right, a little bit of a shorter cast this week. Adam's watching wrestling. Chris is on daughter duty. And Brian will be here in an hour because it's British daylight savings time. This happens every year, man. Every fucking year. It's hilarious, you know? So how's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, I got to vamp a little bit because I got to fucking do the chyrons. But we got to give a shout out to our homeboy, Mr. You Should Know Me Too, otherwise known as D's Nuts, who won the contest, man.
Oh yeah.
He won a PlayStation 5 from Throwdown. He's very happy, man. You know?
Yeah, I'm are we allowed to talk about a little bit about what he does for a living or no? Alone?
I didn't get his permission, but it's a you know, maybe I'll ask him privately for maybe we could bring it up later. But yeah. It's not an easy job, very manual intensive, very long hours and all that. So guy like that, you know, he would definitely appreciate a PlayStation 5, you know, because he's his job, he's going to be doing it for 3 months straight. So when he's finally off for Christmas, he's going to go home with his woman, got his PlayStation 5. He's set. He's set. You know?
He has one of those jobs that was literally running during the pandemic.
Yes.
So it couldn't have gone to a better person.
I agree. Well, you know, I didn't think about it. You're 100% right about that. Like we gave away a console to somebody who was keeping the country going this entire time. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, shout outs to him, and shout out to us for essentially having unknowing, being fortune tellers and telling the future, because literally the day after, every motherfucker in the game industry as well as influencers got themselves a PlayStation 5 in the mail.
That's right, man. Everybody got their shit, you know? It's crazy. By the way, I found this real funny because some dudes were like making fun of me. Like, oh, Tony, you didn't get a PlayStation. Like, you guys realize I work for a website, right? And we got the motherfucking PlayStation. So talk that shit, you know? Talk that shit. We got a PlayStation 2, motherfuckers. You know?
It's interesting.
And a 5.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think, we'll have.
We did get a 5. Yeah. What happened?
We got a PlayStation 2, motherfucker.
Yeah, I did get a PlayStation 2, you know?
I mean, think about it. It's like they're probably.
Actually, I said TO. What the fuck, man? Anyway, sorry, man. I keep cutting you off.
They're probably seeing that the PlayStation has, but yeah, look at this motherfucker with his PlayStation hat and don't got no PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's what they're probably doing.
Yo, by the way, Throwdown didn't officially get a PlayStation 5 from Sony. We were giving one away. So,
yeah, we gave one away. So say something, you know? Yo, by the way, remind me to tell you something off air. Keep a pin on that. Yo, watch this week. Watch Twitter. Watch Twitter. That's all I'm saying, man. Oh my goodness. Motherfuckers. Yo, you're going to have to become, they're going to be professional salt miners on Twitter this week, man. Anyway, man, let's get into these fucking questions, man. First up, we got Mr. John R. Christ, the biggest Stadia fan out there, man.
Really?
Yes. And by the way, Carlos, halfway through the show, remind me to talk about our next contest. Dun, 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 dun. All right, man. So question is, with Microsoft and GameStop partnered together and GameStop being incentivized to push Xbox consoles due to the cut on all digital sales on those consoles, what do you think the impact of PlayStation 5 sales will be? So basically, you know, every Xbox game that GameStop sells, they get a cut off of it, you know? So will this impact PlayStation 5 sales in any way?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, this is no different than PlayStation playing, and this wasn't talked about much before, but this is no different than PlayStation paying GameStop to have the front of the store. This is the same idea. And they've done this before. Same thing with Xbox and even Nintendo. They've paid for placement to be in front of the store. So this is like a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
And it also shows that Microsoft does not give that much of a shit about their box. Think about it. If they're giving away a cut off of every single console, which is also probably operating at a loss.
Yeah. Well, I've actually said a million times, Microsoft, what the fuck? Microsoft said it themselves. They're not worried about console sales, man. They're trying to get subscriptions up, you know?
For those of you out there, it's like,
Yo, by the way, huge shout out to Barry Burton, who's subscribed to tier 2.
Yeah.
And he says currently on a 25-month streak.
Oh, very nice.
That's crazy. And he put a message. He says #cancel GameStop.
Barry Burton has some war stories about GameStop. So.
Yeah, he probably does. Oh, by the way, a quick little tease. We're gonna have a new icon soon, done by Mr. Brett Murdoch. So that should be a lot of fun, you know. Icon. I think this was a pretty easy one. It's not gonna affect PlayStation sales, man.
Yeah, and obviously, in launch, it's not gonna affect anything at all. Like even Microsoft, because there are hardly any consoles to sell.
Yeah.
So everything is sold out essentially. So after the whole artificial scarcity, runs out, then maybe that's when it could affect it. But I think it's going to be too late.
Yeah. All right, that's that. So moving on to the next question by Mr. John Christ. In the last 2 years in particular, I've noticed deceptive stuff from media outlets like changing article publishing dates to keep an article in my feed for weeks, clickbait titles and thumbnails, etc. Ask journalists yourselves, what journalistic standards do you wish other journalists would start abiding by more often? All right, just clarification. I'm the only gaming journalist here, but Manny has done some journalism before, and so has Brett. But I'm the only professional. Chris has too, so has Brian. So I understand where he's coming from. We're more like just a podcast, just all of us together.
Actually, also Adam
is one. Adam and I are the only ones who currently doing it.
Adam is and was.
Yeah.
Because he also used to write for a magazine years ago.
Yeah, but you know what? I guess thinking about it, because you can still call us journalists, because what is it? 5 out of 7 of us have done it, either do it or have done it. So he wants to know what journalists, journalistic integrity things do you want to be brought back that may have lapsed. I got one, simple one. don't talk shit about your fans. How about that? Stop talking shit. Stop
those are the days.
Yeah, stop belittling your fan base. Try to grow a community from your fans instead of telling them that they're pieces of shit. You guys know exactly what I'm referencing right now.
Yep.
So yeah, bring that back. Bring back not being a fucking asshole. How about that?
I would say marking your articles as opinion pieces.
Yes.
Which is semi rampant nowadays. A lot of these guys out there are releasing opinion pieces, but disguised as fake as reviews and previews.
Yeah, and that's freak. That's freak. You already know about the Bibaporu, man.
And they really need to make that sort of thing clear.
Yeah, I agree. Carlos, what about you, man?
I don't know, to be honest. I didn't really. I guess am I the only one that hasn't done any type of gaming journalism?
Yeah, you haven't written, have you, for anything?
No, I haven't written anything. I've only been a guy with a mic.
Yeah, you've been a podcaster. That counts enough. You're an influencer, Carlos. You're an influencer.
Yo, man, I influence things.
Yeah.
No, I don't think which gaming journalist. I think none. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I think, in a way, gaming journalism is kind of dying. There's not that much influence when it comes. Ironically enough, there's not much influence when it comes to gaming journalism anymore as they used to be. Because influencers are taking over the fucking market. They're.
No, go ahead. No, I was just going to say, this is why. Why do you think a lot of gaming journalists hate on influencers? Because influencers have influence over them. That's why. Nobody gives. It's like Jason Schreier. Yeah, he may have a little, shine here and there, but he ain't nothing compared to Ninja.
Oh yeah, I mean, even the whole Microsoft thing. They recently they released they created 3, and a shout out to Microsoft for doing this. They created 3 refrigerators that were modeled after the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 people got it: Snoop Dogg and iJustine.
Yeah.
Both of them influencers.
Yo.
Snoop Dogg does other stuff, but you know.
Yo, Jason, where's your box at, son? Where's your box at?
You know, and it's like, it seems kind of odd that, you know, Ryan McCaffrey didn't get it, because he's a really prominent, you know, gaming journalist that talks about Microsoft or some of the. I mean, Kind of Funny is kind of like in between gaming journalism and influencer. So yeah, it's like, and that's another thing, you know, like Kind of Funny. They're sort of like, it's pretty gray area whether they're just an influencer or gaming journalist. I think they're more influencers than they're gaming journalists.
I agree.
Yeah,
but
now they are. They're more influencer.
But I think it's you know, I think that's what it's going to end up being. I think a lot of the journalists are going to be influencers in a couple of years.
Yep.
Or they'll be gone.
Or a lot of them make that sort of transition. What happened to the guys at Game Trailers? They became influencers. What was it? Whatever their name is right now, I don't know what their name is.
Most of the IGN people, every time they leave IGN, they're
You become an influencer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alana Pierce, you know, she's one of the bigger ones. She left. Look at her now. You know.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
I think even though there were probably a lot of standards that were set, a lot of, you know, unwritten rules when it came to gaming journalism back in the day, I think the rules have changed and the playing field has changed significantly, where I don't think even whatever rules existed back then would even translate to now.
Yeah, I agree. Hold on a second. I saw a comment here. I wanted to say something on. Nest Freak. He goes, Greg Miller's girl, doesn't she work for Sony? No, she works for 40. Yeah, well, she works for, you know, she does Square Enix stuff, but I think she's 47 Industries.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, they do.
She's PR. Genevieve, she's a good girl. I always see her at events and stuff. She's cool. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Her and I had a very long talk about the PS Vita the first time I met her. You know, we were chilling in the bar drinking. This is the Anaheim PlayStation experience. And you know, I bumped into her because I'm like, hey, yeah, you know, I was like, hey, that's Greg Miller's girl. Let me go talk to her. You know, so we talked cool as fuck. You know, and yeah, we just started talking about the Vita. It's hilarious. You know. Go ahead, Brett.
Oh, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything to say on this? Do you have anything to say on this topic?
Oh yeah. Like I agree with a lot of what you said. Sorry. I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm just kind of sitting here fucking dumbfounded. Like, I don't know how we got to this point where it's like high school but worse. Like, so basically everybody's now just trying to be popular so that they're liked and they're given stuff, and everybody's trying to get noticed by the popular people by giving them stuff. And to me, I sit on the sidelines is like, I don't give a shit about influencers, and the only thing I can think of anytime I hear it is like, okay, so basically what they're saying in their title is they're unqualified to really talk about anything, but they're popular and people do what they say. It's just a weird, stupid thing to lean into, and I get we've gotten here by, you know, baby steps and these people being more important, but we've gone so far away from the source. Like, it used to be at least like Ninja and stuff like that, like people kind of adjacent to the video game industry or personalities that rep video game stuff. But now there's fucking like sending Snoop Dogg at Xbox. Like, and I to a certain extent I get Snoop Dogg, but like anybody who's less well of a known name than Snoop Dogg, like, it just seems, even Snoop Dogg, like, what the fuck does Snoop Dogg know about an Xbox?
Well, he's been a fan of Xbox since the beginning. He's always talked about Xbox. You know, he's an OG. You know, he's actually like, if you're gonna send an influencer an Xbox, send it to Snoop Dogg because he's real about it. You know.
Okay, well, no, and that's the answer right there. Like, he's been an active and loud fan. Like, okay, cool. So, like, what does he know about it? Same thing any of us do if we've had Xbox.
Yeah, this is true.
Fucking ever.
Mm-hmm. So it's just you know, we didn't release the Chronic with Dr. Dre. You know.
Yeah. The only difference is that we're not actual famous people.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, being a longtime fan, honestly, in my opinion, qualifies you to have strong opinions about this shit.
Yeah.
And possibly tell, you know, there are people who like honestly, a lot of small fucking us like what do we here have to say about any of this stuff? Well, we've been longtime fans of it. We tend to put more time than we should into researching news and hanging out on message boards and trying to find out the inside scoop. And also we committed to the show, so that kind of helps. So we're responsible for things, and it's our interest. So that's kind of a magic combo right there. So I'm not saying that being a fan makes you non-qualified. I'm just saying that they are sending these out to just some random ass Instagram people that I don't understand.
Which ones? Because I understand I just seen getting one. She's always done tech forever, so I understand her getting it. What Instagram people are you referring to?
Just random. I hate to say it, like hot Instagram girls.
I need proof of this. I haven't seen that yet.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. Like Xbox,
honestly haven't been following that much. Like I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say like our Instagram models. I'm using a nice word, by the way. So another word I could use for Instagram girls, but Instagram models, are they getting Xboxes or PlayStations? I haven't seen that. Maybe I'm off because I don't really troll for that stuff.
Maybe I haven't been aware of some of the qualifications of some of the very Instagram-looking girls I've seen pictures with holding Xboxes.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of girls with Xboxes, to be honest. I saw some people complain about like, how come women aren't getting the Xbox?
Yeah, I can't really. I'll be honest. I'm not going to go back and do the research to try and find out hot Instagram girls that have.
All right, I'm just throwing it out there because I don't want to make a definitive statement if I'm not sure.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying from what I've seen, and I maybe haven't looked into it enough. I'm willing to be wrong here. It could be everybody who got one is adjacent to the video game or tech industry, and if so, that's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd call them influencers then instead of the things that would actually justify them having an Xbox, though.
I think they're using influencer as like a umbrella term, to be honest. Next week you're talking about
influencers are just like Kim Kardashian is an influencer.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
But she is, I have another name for Kim Kardashian, but I'm not going to say that on air either.
She's known for. She's one of those people that are just known for being famous.
Well, I know why she got famous, but we don't talk about that anymore. Apparently,
No, but that's like some people. I thought some of these people were just influencers in the sense of the word of like, yeah, you're just famous on Instagram or you're a big YouTube personality. Doesn't necessarily mean you have any reason to be like. If they're adjacent in any industry, just report their fucking title. If they have any,
but they don't have titles. Think about it. It was streamer. They're not going to say that. They just want that catch-all term, like a streamer, a guy that goes to events or whatever. They just put it all together. As some
those are
influencer.
Really influencers.
But that's what. But I'm telling you, that's what the modern day version of influencer means, Brett. I'm trying to tell you that. Like Ninja is a influencer. Understand? By the modern definition of it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not going to have that fight with you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, again, because this is one of those times where you don't like to accept the modern version of the definition, but that's what it is.
No, dude.
I don't make the rules. I'm going to make the rules.
Influencers is just somebody who's popular and can sell products.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they have to be qualified in any way.
No, they don't. All they have to do is just have millions of Instagram people or millions of followers on Twitch. Not millions, but the significance of it. Yeah.
They're essentially walking, talking, advertising things.
Yeah. And,
that's all.
Yeah. And like I said before, I'm not trying to shit on influencer, but the thing is, if a journalist fucks up, they will be held accountable, and people expect them to be held accountable. If influencers fucks up, people are like, yes, an influencer or whatever. They're going to fuck up whatever, regardless. So the same standards that apply to me don't apply to an influencer. If I do something crazy, I could lose my job. And influencer does something crazy, they'll just get more popular. Yeah. That's not me hating. That's just the fact.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
I know a couple people like that.
There's not the same sort of heft that a journalist.
Think about it like this, right? If you found out that a gaming journalist was like, and I'm talking about not evidence, like you find proof that a gaming journalist was paid to give a positive review, that motherfucker is gone. That's it. No one's going to take him seriously. With an influencer, you find that out. Oh yeah, he's an influencer. That's what they do.
Yeah,
That's
and
that's
then
the
you see, and then you
perception.
see, and then you see sneaky shit where they're literally putting out these sponsored videos, but not saying that they're sponsored videos.
Yeah, remember, with PewDiePie, he got caught like that, right? Even though he did say sponsor video at the ass end of the video in a little chyron or something, right? But when people were kind of mad about that, but then they were like, he's an influencer. That's what happens, Let that happen to a gaming journalist. They're fucking gone. Their career is over, It's just interesting how that works, And again, the other thing is, I'm being real right now, people, PR likes influencers more than gaming journalists for two reasons. Not only are they more popular, but they're more susceptible to giving a nicer review, if you know what I mean, right? You give me a PlayStation 5, I may rip the shit apart, right? Because that's my job. I got to look at it from every angle, right? Literally and figuratively, right? Give an influencer a PS5, a high chance he's going to give it a good review regardless, because he wants another PlayStation 5. Me, I don't give a fuck, my allegiance is to my readers and my fan base and shit, right? These guys don't give a fuck about that. They care about money, for the most part. I'm speaking about all of them, but basically, again, different standards for journalists and influencers, and that's why PR people love influencers, because those guys are, like you said, man, they're walking advertisement. They're hype men or women,
Exactly. And the thing is that people willingly will go and see what an influencer says. Not so much with gaming journalists these days, especially with how the way journalism sort of goes goes these days. You don't have the days of like Sushi finding out what Sushi X thinks about the new Power Rangers game is gone. You used to read the reviews of your favorite reviewers. Nowadays, a lot of gaming journalists have to pull the sort of like sensationalized title in order to get people in, as opposed to like, hey, you know what, blah 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 works at the site, I'm gonna go see what they say.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. And just some more stuff, right, since we're on the subject, right? When I first started in the gaming industry, right, when you go to these events and stuff, it was like 95% journalists, right? Lately, when I go to events, I'm not even kidding with you guys. You know what I get asked? Nobody asked me what site to write for. You know what they ask me? What game do you stream? They just assume I'm an influencer too, because that's who goes to these events now. It's crazy how it works, but it makes sense. It makes sense because think about, and I've said this before, right? A regular gamer, right? Who are they going to be able to identify with more, right? A byline, which is the name under a headline, or a motherfucker that's playing a game along with you and talking. They're going to go to the face. There's the humanizing element right there, And again, like going back to what I said at the beginning of this shit, what a lot of journalists do, they get on Twitter and they talk shit about their readers, talk shit about gamers. Why would anybody want to fuck with them when they got an actual gamer playing actual games? And let's be real right now, you've seen dudes like Dean Takahashi, they can't even fucking air dash. Who's gonna take that shit seriously? So this is why influencers are being not journalists. And I'm saying to say that's a fucking journalist. I'm gonna go extinct soon, people. That's just the way it is. But that's that. It's crazy. Different world, man. Different world. Anyway, your boy had to go on a rant about that shit. I have very strong feelings about this topic, No, because the thing is, Brett, a lot of my peers don't fucking get it. Like, guys, we're done. Our time is over,
Well, their time is. Like, I'll be honest. I think you fall into that line of people who, like, you don't. How do I put it? Most of your articles are almost editorials. Like, you just kind of go at it from how you feel as a person. That's the kind of thing that's going to stick around, and that's the kind of thing that influencers do. And that's the kind of, like, I'll trust even if I'm not on the fucking podcast, man. I'll trust my news for you because I know what the fuck you're talking about because I've played games with you. I've hung out with you. I know that you know what's up. So I think the idea of a conglomerate, like IGN, and somebody just having the clout from being part of or hired by IGN, I think those days are gone. But I think the days of individual personalities that you vet and trust, I think that's on the rise.
Yeah. I should add this, though. Even though journalism is like going extinct, I'm not worried because I could make that transition no problem. Look, what have I been doing for like almost 8 years? This fucking podcast. So I'll be all right, And I got my Twitter following and shit. Again, a lot of my Twitter followers, Brett, check this out. They don't even know I'm a fucking journalist. They think I'm just a YouTuber. It's hilarious.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, bro,
your
I'm like,
personality drives
yeah,
you.
yeah, exactly. They either think I'm a YouTuber or I'm just a Twitter personality. And so I'm like, yo, look at my byline. I make my money off writing, bruh. It's crazy, but I'll be all right, compared to these fucking guys. Because again, I don't forget the golden rule. Don't shit on your fucking fans, man. Don't do that shit. Love those people because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Well, I think a lot of times I think the one thing about it is that they're not a lot of again, we talked about it before. They're not thinking about a lot of these sites are not thinking about creating a community. I mean, like you look at even like some of the sites like Kotaku and stuff like that. Back in the day, Kotaku had a community.
Yes, they did.
There were people out there, like everybody would talk, chip in and like, yeah, that was a community. But at some point, they became too big for their britches, and they just started twisting the screw. Just say, okay, we're turning off. We're not even paying attention to comments anymore. We're not even looking at this stuff anymore. So then they became too. They were the punky alternative compared to the IGNs and all that stuff. But yet and all, they eventually they became that too.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad. All right, let's move on before I could rant up for another hour about this shit. All right, next question. This is from Illustrated Dio. What is going on, brother?
What's up, Dio?
All right, his first question is, if the prices of the digital and physical next-gen consoles were reversed, would you still consider going digital or continue supporting physical games? I think he's asking me this question. Well, Dio, in this case, I had no choice but to buy physical because I was the only one available to me, So but just hypothetically speaking, if the digital for some reason was $500 and the physical would be $400, no, I'll go for a fucking physical. $400 cheaper,
It's cheaper and it does more.
Yeah, it does more. So I'm like, well, I'd be stupid. No, I want to pay $100 more for something that does something less. That's dumb. Like think about it. If the price it was then going to happen because Sony's never done this, but if the price was $449 for the digital, I'll be like, fuck it, I'll just pay $50 more for the physical. So yeah, I think this one really only applied to me because everybody else is getting the physical one here. Even though I have the physical too because I have no choice,
Yeah, you're getting everybody has the physical. Mostly everyone has the physical one, but at the same time, everybody in here is probably going to be buying digital, with the exception of me and Chris.
Yes,
I have the digital one.
Brett, you managed to secure a digital one?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
nice. Shit.
Chris is getting the physical. Brett is getting the digital.
Okay.
Don't forget, I'm.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're the broker. You're the broker.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did manage to get a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Carlos managed to get me a PlayStation.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Man, by the way, Brett, I feel so stupid about canceling my Xbox. I could have sold this shit to Morgan, But these things happen.
Yeah, well.
So was it canceled? Like it was like
it's still pending. It's still pending. I should check that shit out.
They're like, remember what it said? It said like, oh, this may or may not be canceled.
All right, so hey, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, I did get a notification from Amazon saying we will ship to the new address. So you already know, my man, these nuts
is going to be getting himself.
Oh man, I never got that email. What's going on?
Are you shipping it to it? No. Are you? Oh, you did. Oh shit. No. Oh,
but yeah, three of them.
Yeah, it's official. Xbox is canceled.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, PlayStation is still on his way though, baby.
Yo, man, you canceled Xbox?
Yeah, man, I canceled that shit.
Tony, you're a pony.
You're a pony. Someone's gonna take that fucking clip. Tony, you canceled Xbox, man. All right, let's move on to the next question from Mr. Dio. Okay, what community-friendly features or apps should next-gen consoles have? So he gave some examples like having Discord integration, shit like that,
I mean,
yeah.
So it's funny because if you have any of these types of apps, it'll surpass and replace whatever the hell Microsoft or PlayStation is doing with their own.
That is true.
Chat systems. So it's like they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. But yeah, I agree with Dio. If you have Discord on either of these consoles, it would do a lot for the community because it's more than just voice chat. Are
they going to undermine their own services though?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So. That ain't gonna happen. Yeah. Oh, Brett, I was told to tell you that now when you start a PlayStation Party, it always asks you or tells you, hey, you may be recorded. So it does. Do you agree with this? So there you go. You are warned.
Is that what
Oh, I
people
knew
were
you were
complaining
warned.
Yeah. What happened, Carlos?
Is that what people were complaining about this week?
Yeah, no, because remember they were mad at Brett last time because when he was yelling about PlayStation, as always, you know.
Oh no, I was just talking about like because there was an update to PlayStation and people were complaining about
Another
something.
one?
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm just being honest. As far as like community apps, I don't give a fuck. Just let me play my games, bro. That's all I care about. You know, like just give me a way so I can talk to my homeboys, my personal homeboys, not other random dudes, and I'll be all right. You know.
Yeah.
And we mostly talk on Discord anyway. You know, so it doesn't fucking matter. You know. At least
I mean that's the
yeah.
ironic thing. Just
Yeah.
we use most of the time we just use Discord because
Yeah.
the fucking PSN chat sucks.
Sucks, yeah. All right. Anybody else? I guess. Yeah. I guess we don't really care about this topic. Sorry, Dio. Oh man. All right, let's move on. This is Upper Room AK. All right. What do you guys think will be the hottest must-have next-gen accessory that's hard to find? My guess will be an SSD or the new PlayStation 5 camera. You really think SSDs are going to be the hottest selling thing or the hottest, most sought item? Because I think most regular people don't even care about that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well the SSD. I mean, here's the thing. Like for gamers, yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. For hardcore guys, they want that shit. Yeah.
But I don't know how often. Again, we don't know anybody who's just a sort of, an everyday gamer.
Yeah.
Who isn't really in the know about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
What
are the accessories that are going to be available? We got a controller, we got a headset, we got
controller, headset,
a camera, right?
Camera. And I think that's it.
Yeah. I mean, if Sony makes enough of these, or Xbox, I don't know what Xbox accessories are going to be available. If they make enough of these, should be all right. I don't think there's going to be like a shortage of accessories. As a matter of fact, I heard they're shipping accessories to people already.
Yeah. The only thing, heard the lightsaber.
Yeah, I heard that. But what the fuck? Yeah. Hey, Brett, we heard that shit, brother.
The only thing I can,
yeah, no, that's good though. We like lightsabers around here, man. Yeah.
The only thing I can think of that might sell out is if they do like the faceplates, like different design faceplates.
Oh, that's right. I heard some third-party companies already doing some of them shits.
Oh yeah, they're a lot of them are looking to have those things at launch.
Yeah, I'm guessing Sony must have sent the measurements or whatever.
That's my guess.
Yeah. I can't really think of it. What'll be the biggest selling thing, or the most sought after item? I don't know what to tell you. What about you guys in the chat, man? By the way, let me see what's going on in the chat right now. Got my man Blitz Tumeke. He said connect. You crazy, man. Yo, the 3DS is gonna be a hot selling item. They discontinued that motherfucker. Finally, No, can't think of anything. All right.
Yeah, as far as the controller and the camera.
What happened, Brett?
Oh, is this just for accessories?
Yeah, accessories.
You're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, accessories. Next gen accessories.
I mean, on the SSD, let me ask you: is it really that big a deal?
Nah,
If you have good internet, or even if you're only playing, a couple games at a time. Like I know lots of people that I would qualify as hardcore gamers that don't play more than 3 games at a time. You don't really need all that shit on your hard drive if you're willing to download it quick.
Yeah. No, the thing is, a lot of gamers like to just digitally hoard their shit. But you're right, though. Do you really need that for the first year? You really don't, Let's just be real here.
Well, dude, even then, like, I delete games off my system all the fucking time. They're saved in my library.
See,
so like, I don't
you
need
do
to
it.
have...
You do it the right way. I just keep them there. I'm like until shit gets filled up because I'm like, I just leave them there.
Yeah, and then I when I'm you run out of space, you go back and you're like, what have I not played for like 8 months? Like, oh yeah, this. Well, chances are I'm not just gonna pick it up and need to play it with less than a couple hours notice. So I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that and re-download it as needed.
Yeah, that's efficient way of doing
I just
it.
don't think that. I don't think the SSD is really necessary because you don't have to hold your games. You can hold them in the cloud.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that though. Even though they're hardcore, they just want to keep all their games. They just want all their games accessible.
I think a lot
easily.
of old heads are that way. I think the younger generation instinctively knows this. They're like, even just it's a stupid question. Like, why would I save something on my own PlayStation that's on the cloud if I'm not using it? Makes no sense.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but even I'm that way. I don't erase shit until I have to, you know?
Yeah, same
Yeah,
here.
it's like
I
why?
mean,
Go ahead,
yeah,
May.
like yeah, like I was saying, I kind of just erase things when the time comes up. I mean, granted, I do have a nice little external, courtesy of Tony, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Maybe that
little,
Seagate, right?
yeah, that's Seagate.
Yeah,
It's actually
nice.
the solid state one.
Nice.
I actually put quite a few games on there because actually the load times are a little bit better on it than it
Yeah.
is on the actual console.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I give you the one for PlayStation. That's right.
Well, no, it's the
Oh, it's
Xbox
actually,
one.
but it still works though. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Bibaporu, you already know DJ Chan. What's up, brother? So yeah, man. Yeah, you don't need the SSD. Somebody said the PSVR 2. That's not coming this year, bro. That's not coming this year.
Mm.
You're talking about this year launch. You know.
Neither is Project Natal 2.
Yeah. Yo, DJ Chan, just put that shit on your chest, man. The vapors will come right up your nose. Put a little bit under your nose too, and under your eyelids too for some reason. That's just the way Dominicans do, man. Put some in your fucking teeth too to clean the motherfucker.
Clean those shits.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, we use that shit for everything, man. It's crazy. You think I'm lying about that? Like my mom used to put her shit in her teeth and like, oh, my teeth hurt. Let me put some bibaporu. And then the next day it's like, oh my god, everything's fine now. Oh, it's hilarious, though. Oh god. All right, let's move on. Where the fuck are we? Black Metal Gamer. All right. How would you rename consoles with shitty names like the Wii U or Xbox One? So he's saying, what consoles would you rename to have better names? I wouldn't have called the Wii U the Wii U.
No, wouldn't have called it the Wii U.
But what would be a better name for it?
The Nintendo Revolution.
You're just using old names. We call it the Dolphin while we're at it, right?
I was about to say the Dolphin,
To be honest, I don't even know why they got rid of that name. The Dolphin was fine.
Yeah.
I was cool with Dolphin. I also did like Ultra 64 though.
Blitz just said Wii 2. Yeah, that would have been simple.
I mean, I don't think. Here's the thing. That's the problem with that. It's still
because the number 2 tells you, hey, it's a new Wii.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Wii 2. It sounds like that. It sounds fine, but it also no, I think it'll work.
Yeah, because it's a number. The PlayStation 2 is like, it's a second PlayStation. Oh shit.
Yeah, granted, yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Xbox. They already fucked up by calling it Xbox 360. Like, that should have been Xbox 2,
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have a problem with because it still had the naming differentiation.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, when they went to Xbox One, that became confusing.
Yeah. So how would you rename
baby?
720, there you go.
Man.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yo, man, 720 like the resolution of the games.
Yeah, something that I would say keep the naming the same sort of naming conventions, right? Xbox, just keep going in circles. It's funny how though it's a circle, it's the 360, it's a circle, right? But yet it's a box.
Yep. Yeah, no, he's right. By the way, Blitz says it should have been called Xbox TV.
I mean, to be honest, again, you still need that differentiation between names. So yeah, I would have called it 720 or call it the or even if you wanted to use the X in that era, that
you could have,
the Xbox X.
Yeah.
Or even
Xbox 10. Like Windows 10.
Yeah, Xbox 10. Oh God.
Or even for instead of Xbox Series X, you could have named it Xbox 4K.
Mm-hmm.
I think
honestly, I wanted to see them continue. I like Project Scarlet, and I was like, man, they should actually consider doing each of their consoles a different color. You could, do Scarlet and then Azure and then go back to Emerald or something like that. And just keep the same logo.
I did actually like the idea of it having that sort of name. or it actually did differentiate it. But it's interesting because it kind of goes against because it's the scarlet, but yet in all the Xbox is green. You know,
Yeah,
green
well,
should
the
be
Xbox should have
the
been
color,
red then. Like
the
I would
red
have loved
box.
each one. How much would you love? Because like everybody always keeps the same goddamn colors. How cool would it be to like be able to tell just from the X logo and the color what generation you're talking about?
But the thing is that who's the red brand? Nintendo's the red brand. So
Yep.
Uh,
it would have caused marketing
Yeah,
confusion.
that's true.
Because that would have meant that every single bit of the because you know how Nintendo and Sony they always have branding that matches that additional color, right? So PlayStation always has had blue. So anytime you see blue, you know it's PlayStation stuff. Anytime you see red, it's the Nintendo logo. Xbox is green. So it'd be a hard one to kind of sell because then you'd have two different brands on the market with the same color associated with.
I mean, yeah, while I agree, and that's against basic marketing 101, where you establish like a color and a logo, I kind of feel like they have a good enough logo in that sphere with the X that stayed consistent that they possibly could get away with it. I don't know, or
Well,
maybe I'm just going against conventional marketing stuff because I am sick of seeing it. But like, I think that they could argue pretty well that a giant red X does not resemble the Nintendo logo, and that they have to share colors with other people. But from a consumer standpoint, I don't know that it would necessarily be super.
yeah. By the way, as I said, Brian shows up here 1 hour later because of daylight savings time. So what's going on, brother?
Oh yeah, the farmers.
Yep, those guys, man, screwing you over.
Wait. Well, it's just the British farmers.
Don't worry, our farmers will screw us. Actually, no, they're gonna bless us. We're gonna get an hour extra, man. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, next week we'll be blessed by the
Yeah.
farmers.
I always call that one the good daylight savings time, not the bad one. The bad one's the other one, you know.
Oh
You know, you know it's funny. I always there was this you remember the show Pete and Pete?
Yes, PP
So there
and
was
P,
no-
right? Yeah.
every single time daylight savings time comes around, I always think of this one episode of Pete and Pete where essentially the youngest Pete was because it truly meant that the summer was over, right? So
Yeah.
what he was trying to do was essentially move across the country so that summer wouldn't ever end.
Hmm.
so he would essentially a different state, a different trying to outrun the daylight savings time. That's what I always think of whenever I think of the daylight savings time.
Crazy. What's the question again? Oh yeah, console with bad names, so renaming them. What other consoles had bad names besides those two?
You know, it's funny. It's so far it's been Xbox and PlayStation have had Xbox and Nintendo that have had two consoles that have been badly named.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You said you also never really liked the name PlayStation.
I didn't at first. I got used to it, you know, because it sounded too kiddie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense. Like it's a station that plays games, you know, that you play, you know. But they've stuck with it. They have not deviated from that, which is good, you know.
Yep. I mean, again, it's a brand that it's a brand name that everybody remembers. So
Yeah.
PlayStation is the name of the company, and the
And the PlayStation the name of the console. Yeah. Because you're right. It's like Nintendo's name of the company, and then the console's name something else, you know.
Something else.
Actually, the name of the company is Sony, you know. But yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, their gaming division is called PlayStation.
Yeah. Dude, the third, what's going on, brother? What do we got here? Xbox Verde. Oh shit! Oh man, Carlos, man, give me some of that, man. PC Engine. I never had a problem with that name. You know.
PC Engine? No, I never. I mean, PC Engine or I'd always like the
TurboGrafx. That's a dope name. Like TurboGrafx. You saying that shit?
That shit sounded like it was gonna fucking blow up something. The TurboGrafx.
Man, you say that name. You say that name. It puts hairs on your chest.
I always loved the name of the Sega Genesis.
Yes, Genesis. Like, oh shit.
I mean, the Mega Drive sounds like.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
It sounds kind of a weak name, but man, Sega Genesis, fuck. That's like the second coming.
Yeah, it's like some fucking Moses shit happening right now. You know.
Genesis.
Does 32X count?
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't think it does.
I mean, I mean, because it doesn't function without a
Yeah.
a
But the thing
Sega.
is, 32X sounds cool though. It's like 32X, like oh shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like 32.
Yeah,
Yeah,
32X.
I thought it was an
Because remember, this is back in the day when X, man, you hear that shit, you're ready to kill somebody.
When X actually gave it to you?
Yeah, you know.
even the Atari Jaguar, like
Jaguar's
that's a fucking
Yeah.
badass name.
Yeah, you think this big black fucking
Even-
cat ready to kill somebody? Too bad the console sucked, but still, you
Yeah,
know.
even the numbering ones, when they were like, what was it, the Atari 2600 and stuff like that. I didn't mind
Yeah.
those numbering conventions either.
Yeah, Game Gear, that was a good one. I like that name.
Yeah, the
Game
Gear.
Boy was good. Yeah, the little Game Boy, you know.
Yeah,
that was
Game
good.
Boy.
Yeah, you're right. I think
They
the
should
only
just kept
bad.
naming
Yeah.
the Nintendo handhelds Game Boy.
Yeah, pretty much. They should have, right? Then
Yeah, they should have kept the Game Boy. I mean, what was it? The Nintendo
the
DS?
3D
I don't-
boy, you know.
I don't know. Yeah, like the Nintendo 3DS or the 3DS.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I got one 2DS. Okay, for you guys who don't know, right? DS stands for dual screen, right? So let's take it logically right now, right? You got the 3DS, 3 dual screen. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Then you got the 2 dual screen. 2 dual screen? That doesn't make any fucking sense either, you know? Dumb names. Nintendo, man, there's some fucked up names to come up with, man. Dreamcast was a good one. When you hear Dreamcast, man, you're ready, you know? Like, yeah, this is
Dreamcast.
like, yo, it's taking my dreams and putting them in a game, man. It's crazy right now, you know? And then the dream died 2 years later.
yo, man, the dream is dead.
The dream
like
is
Magneto
dead.
said. Like Magneto
Yeah,
says.
the dream is dead.
The dream is dead.
All right, man. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about anymore. Let's move on. Oh shit! I don't think I have my Chiron ready. Brian, what about you, man? Consoles or bad names that you would change to something better.
Xbox.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but I get the sentiment of it, but what the fuck? Xbox? It's like called something, not like just it's Xbox. Like that's dumb as calling something like a Y machine. It's like what's going on?
By the way, there's a reason it's called Xbox. Because originally it was going to be called the Direct Xbox, but then they took out the Direct part of it. And it was early 2000s, so everything was all about X Extreme, you know?
Yeah, it's just not that smart.
Yeah, no, I
At least
agree.
the PlayStation makes sense. Like it's the station where you play. Like,
Yeah.
it's logical, you know. But Xbox is just always stuck with me as like this is one of those dumb names that will carry on forever. Like iPhone, like.
That's it. It's a brand, bro. It's a brand. Yo, Brian, after the show, I got to talk to you about this game I'm playing. It's set in London. I think you know what it is already, though.
I'm alive in London.
Is it the Gateway 2?
Yes, it is. And it's also made by a company I can't seem to optimize their PC games very well, you know?
Those mother.
Brian already knows what
Real
I'm talking about.
games?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Guerrilla Games, man. Fix your shit, man. Remember that video? Remember was the video with Snoop Dogg? Yo, Xbox, fix your shit.
Oh, see, he's been a fan. He's a fan.
Yeah.
He loves that shit. He's like, fix it, shit.
Yeah, because what happened is the original one came from he was Xbox Live was down. It was down a lot this generation, by the way. And he was like, "Yo, Xbox, I'm trying to play my games. Fix your shit." Now every time Xbox was down, somebody throws out the Snoop Dogg meme. You know.
Yeah, well, he Snoop wants to play his games.
You know.
Get your shit together.
Fix your shit, Xbox.
Fix
I
your
love that.
shit.
All right, let's move on, man. Hold on, Black Metal Gamer, another one. Okay, will we continue seeing big digital game sales next generation, or will there be a dry period after both consoles launch? I know why he's asking this question, right? Because he figures, next generation, there's not going to be a lot of games to buy, so there's not going to be a lot of sales. Dude, because of backwards compatibility, those game sales are still going to be selling. They're still going to be happening because you can just play your old shit on your new shit, you know? So, yeah, they're going to continue. Those sales are going to continue as always. It'll be interesting to see which next-gen games, I'm doing our air quotes, will be on there. But, yeah, those sales aren't going to go anywhere just because of the fact that you can play your old games on your new system, you know? I think that's pretty much that. That's how you see what the answer.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that.
Yeah, because I know where he's coming from. He's thinking because remember this generation when we started, digital sales were not very common, right? PS4, but you could buy those games now. All right, moving on to the next question. Also, kind of on this vein, from Mob Hits. All right, will there be a digital used game market this upcoming generation? I have an answer, but I'll let you guys go first. Oh, that's my answer. No.
No.
No. That's not gonna happen. How would you even do something
Well,
like that?
I
How do you
mean,
have a used digital game?
yeah, that's an odd one. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, brother.
But I mean, to be honest, like the ability to get your money back for a game that you don't like, yes, that would be a great thing to have.
Yeah, I think that's why he's asking that, because like that's one of the reasons a lot of people still buy physical, because they want the ability to sell their games when they're done with them, get their some kind of money back. So it would be cool if there was a digital version. I just don't see how you could possibly do something like that. You know, like, yo, man, let me get the digital dust off this shit. I've been using it for a while. Like, I don't understand how that shit could work. Sell back license, but no incentive for publishers to do it. Exactly, Blitz. No reason for that. You guys are asking us some easy questions tonight. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely that anything like that would happen in this generation.
Yeah, no way. All right, let's move on to another Mop Hits question. Okay, now that we've seen the teardowns of each console, what is the best innovation they're bringing to the table? I think I know what the answer for this one is, but should I just say it?
Yeah, go for it.
With the fast load speeds, man. SSD, that's the innovation they're bringing. Yeah, that's the innovation they're both bringing. You saw the fucking Xbox impressions I did. You saw how fast that fucking shit loaded.
Yeah, I mean, especially again, I was when you tossed, because I don't have any experience with the other game that you put in there, but man, that other
Control,
seeing Control run that fucking quick. Yeah,
that shit was crazy. Here's one thing that's related to it. Somebody released a video of Spider-Man Miles Morales, and there was a scene where he was inside a warehouse, and there was a pipe like near the roof and shit. So he swings through the pipe and goes out the city, right? Like that. And I'm like, how is that going to work on PlayStation 4? So I just imagine that pipe is going to be like really fucking long on PlayStation. He's just going to be just traveling. Because obviously that pipe is a load stream,
I mean, here's the thing. Like, one thing that I don't remember seeing. The only time I've ever really seen any sort of hardcore. Spider-Man at PS4 really doesn't have that many load screens. The only time you ever see a load screen is in the beginning, and when you're changing the time of day.
Yeah,
they hide the fucking. They actually hide the load time. Oh wait, no! You get that screen. You get the screen with him doing the webbing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, yeah, you might get a little thing like that, or they might hide it with something. Because you remember the intro of the game, they did something like that, where you swung around and you jumped right into Fisk's building.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, SSDs, loading times, quick resume. Those are the big innovations that they're bringing. We can't really speak too much about the controllers because we don't have them yet. Like Brian always says, like, let's see if these innovations for the controllers are going to be there or used a year later. But SSDs, that's something you're going to feel immediately and for the whole generation. What I'm excited for, when it comes to SSD is I want to see game design completely innovated. Like, for example, every game you play right now has that moment where you're going through a crevice, you have a character lifting you up, you're going through you're going up an elevator, you're going through empty halls. All that is loading, right? I want to see games tailored around that stuff, or minimized or completely eliminated. Like, how cool would that be? Because think about it, when you're playing a game, you're already, even if you've never played it before, you're used to the rhythm. You're playing a certain section. Oh, okay, here's a little part here. This is loading. Okay, here's the empty sewer or whatever. Imagine a game without any of that shit. That would be very interesting.
The whole Ratchet thing. Where you go from one stage to another, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? That would be crazy. So I think that's definitely going to be a big innovation, and hopefully it does have these developers change up how they do things, specifically when they're only making games that are only for PS5 and Xbox Series X. That's where we're going to see some shit,
Because essentially what we're getting right now is just like a brute force way to see how fast load times are, because essentially all these are PlayStation 4 games, and Xbox One games that are being ported over to the next gen consoles. But like Tony's saying, like once you have, a Spider-Man game or a what's it called, Horizon game that's just dedicated, like built for this console, then they can take full advantage of all the hardware capabilities. Now they're like there's a couple of compromises right now. So yeah, man, that's something. I think the SSD is the thing that is putting it, to the top, because a lot of the other stuff like the CPU and GPU, those are things that already exist on the
Yeah.
PC. So they're not really innovating that much per se. They're just getting into some of like the most recent hardware that's already in the market. So yeah, that's crazy. And someone mentioned in the chat quick resume. Yeah, quick resume is another
That's a big one.
one of those big features. Yeah, that's something that when I see it, I'm like, man, that's the future. That's what a lot of these new consoles should do going forward.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about PlayStation. They don't say they have quick resume, but we saw it in action during that last video. It's like, oh shit, it has quick resume. They just don't call it that,
Yeah, they probably
Right.
thought of some dopey name.
They don't even have a name. It's just
PlayStation
it just works. Yeah, SSDs for sure.
Bless you.
Yeah, all right, man. Moving on. We got Roger. All right, so his first question is, what is your preference? Huge games with long development cycles like Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War, or shorter experiences that can release more frequently like Lost Legacy and Spider-Man Miles Morales?
I do not have a problem with smaller releases. I like the smaller sort of ideas than a little bit more. So, yeah.
To quote that little Asian girl in the meme, why not both?
There's also both.
Get both, man. Why have one over the other? Have both.
But I do feel like a lot of times when like games have kind of gotten absurdly huge, where they essentially gave me anxiety because it's essentially becoming like another job.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Well, that's what I'm saying for both. Like, because I like those big AAA blockbuster games, but they could get tiring too if you're playing 5 of them back to back. Give me some of those smaller ones to tie them, but not in any game. Fuck that shit. Like, a real good game, but like that isn't like 50 million hours long. Superman 64 remaster. You're crazy, Barry.
Yeah, well, that game wasn't that long.
Yeah.
That would be considered.
So yeah, a good mix of both, man. Good mix of both. Can't go wrong with that. You got your AAAs that come out like every 4 years or something. And you got the in between games that fill into space and shit. What's up, Carlos?
I think like we talked about previously, there's no in between anymore. So we're either gonna get those huge ass like Cyberpunk, GTA like games, or the indie games that take, or the like the pseudo expansion that take like a year or two.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think I mean, which one I prefer? I prefer the big releases, but just like you guys mentioned, it's like we're probably gonna get both, and it's if we can choose both, and both is fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, my preference is the big AAA games, but the other games are good too. Good placeholder games.
They fill in the void.
They do. They really do. Like Resident Evil 3, right? Dope game. 10 hours, I was satisfied, and that's all I needed. Then you got Final Fantasy, which is like 80 fucking hours. Even that is kind of shorter compared to some of these other games. 80 hours almost seems like a breeze. You got Red Dead Redemption to 140 hours and shit. I put more. I think 140 hours is me talking down. To be honest, I think I put more than that into that fucking game. It is ridiculous. Yes, fight. It sounds like the Mortal Kombat gong right there.
Persona 5, man, that shit.
Yo, Persona 5, you don't even have to do side quests and it's 120 hours,
Yeah.
and imagine if one of us, shout out to Rico right now, if one of us played those Cold Steel games. I don't play those games specifically because of their length. Rico's like, yeah, God, I'm over here for 140 hours. I'm loving it. I'm like, no, get that away from me, please. You got to play it, Tony. I'm like, chill, son. They're going to play 7 of these fucking games. You crazy, Riku. Because it's all one continuous story, So I'm like, chill. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. All right, man. Let's move on. All right. Next question from Mr. Roger. Should video games be advertised more like movies? Release date selected years in advance, title confirmed. Think how the MCU charted a 10-year course. Man, I'm going to toss this one to you. Explain why that can't work for video games. Why you can't just set a date like this game will come out 3 years from now and it will have this. Yeah.
Because game development is sort of nebulous. A lot of it's how many times have you heard the idea of like, oh yeah, when we started this game, it wasn't what we wanted. We went back to formula and did it again and made a whole new game. It's if game development was that solid that essentially whatever the game designer or the game director was putting out there was exactly what they planned, games would come out like clockwork, but they don't. And the larger and larger these games become, it becomes more and more difficult to sort of put those things out there. That's why you have games like, what was it? I think I heard the original Contra only took about 6 months to develop or something like that. 6 months. Oh no, that wasn't original Contra. It was Altered Beast. The original Altered Beast only took 6 months to make. I think that when you have smaller experiences, yeah, you can put those things, you can do those things, but you won't be getting those sorts of big experiences that you would that's sort of attributed to larger video games. So no, I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, but even quote unquote smaller games don't fall into that category too. Think about Bloodstain, right? That thing was in development forever.
Yeah, took about 5 years for Bloodstain to get out.
Yeah, game development, like Manny said, here's the thing about Hollywood movies and stuff. Those you can't crank those out like clockwork. They know exactly how long things will take. There are development hell movies. Don't get me wrong, but generally speaking, making a movie is a science, right? Video games is still not a science, believe it or not. Because again, how many times have we heard like a game literally halfway through development, now we're scrapping and we're doing it all over again? Final Fantasy VII Remake, for example, they scrapped that shit halfway through, started all over again.
And yeah, because again, like with a movie, there's also a direct route. Like you have that script. The script is pretty much the ground rule.
That's right. Yeah, you stick to as long as I mean, there's obviously some instances where they haven't, but if you stick to the script, you're good.
Final Fantasy 15.
Think about it like this, right? When a movie comes out, right? Let's just say this is a brand new IP, right? Comes out on Friday and is successful. Saturday night, they're already announcing a sequel. That doesn't work like that in games. The game could sell 100 million, like in 3 days. Think about it, right? GTA 6, right? If it was like a movie, we would have had that already years ago. Mm-hmm. Doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
And also, it's like movie studios are more of a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
Even though they're so, both of them are extremely volatile. But movie studios are way more. I mean, they've been doing this shit for fucking centuries at this point.
Yep.
So whenever they say, the next Avengers Endgame is going to come out in 2022, it's probably going to come out in 2022. But when Microsoft,
by the way, let's say 100+ years. It's not centuries. Man, like we wasn't making movies in like the fucking 1800s, unless I'm wrong about this.
Yeah, in the 1800s,
yeah. So, I should say like 1820. I doubt we were making movies back then.
Oh, no, not 1820.
Yeah, but you're right. Like 130, 40 years. Yeah. It's like you said, old machine. It's a science. They know what the fuck they're doing. Because it's all the steps. Games. Carlos. I'm glad he brings up games. Is still a relatively new medium, despite the fact that we've grown up with it. It's still new compared to Hollywood.
Not even 50 years yet.
Not even 50 years.
I think. Like video games, like I mentioned, like if the next Avengers Endgame or the next Avengers movie gets announced and it says it's going to come out for 2022, unless a fucking crazy ass pandemic or a fucking asteroid hits, it's going to fucking come out in 2022.
Yep.
When Microsoft says we're going to release the next Halo game that's been in 5 years into development and it's going to release and it has to release for the next gen console, like day and date, because it'll help the fucking console. It got fucking delayed.
Yep.
It's the fucking biggest title on your fucking platform, and it got delayed. And it was indefinitely delayed. So that's, just thinking about it like that. Like video games have way more of a complexity in terms of getting it to work. Not only most games now have freaking like voice acting and video capture and all that stuff. There's bugs. There's levels, there's art, there's just so many freaking dimensions into what makes a video game, and make sure to get it right. The fucking net code, the balancing of multiplayer, the maps, there's just so much stuff across the board for video games as opposed to a movie. And yeah, like it's just hard to stay on schedule for a video game, even for the Ubisofts, the Squares, the Microsofts, the Sonys. Maybe, well, like even Nintendo with freaking Metroid. It's like Metroid 4 got announced. We got a logo like 3 years ago. It seems like it's been 3 years ago, and that shit might not even release. So yeah, it's just a completely different ball game.
It's a different beast, man.
It's an altered beast.
Yes, it is an altered beast. Call, shout out, call back. All right. What the hell are we doing now? All right. Chris R29. Yo, that's my oldest nephew right there, man. C. Iverson. What's going on, brother?
Yo.
Real gamer right there. He don't play no Fortnite now like his little brother, Yo, by the way, I told his brother that I met Ninja one time. Yo, his face lit up. He was like, oh, shit. You met Ninja? He didn't say, oh, shit. He don't curse, but he was like,
You met Ninja?
He was like, yo, wow. I told that shit to Junior, the oldest one. He'd be like, fuck that guy. Shit is funny, man. All right, so his question is, once Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok releases, what do you think the impact of that game will have on PS5? It'll hopefully a good impact if it's an actual PS5 exclusive, Oh, shit. Carlos, man, let me get some of that shit, man. For you guys who are listening, he just put Bud Light Seltzer on the fucking screen. What is it, like extra bubblier? Like, if the shit's already carbonated,
It's just flavorful. It has different flavors. Everyone's doing it for some reason.
So,
like Corona.
Yo, hold on. I'll ask off air because I was about to get off topic. We were talking about beer for the next segment right now. God of War, that would be a huge fucking game for PlayStation 5. You already know. You already know that's like a guaranteed hit right there. So the impact will be good.
Honestly, like PlayStation is sort of en route to have a crazy ass lineup. Like sort of almost as or probably better than what than Nintendo had with the Switch.
Yeah.
They're releasing with Miles. Ratchet is coming out next.
Yeah,
there's a lot of first-party games that are coming with that.
Yeah, taking my personal feelings out of the equation, Sony has a lot of fucking first-party games coming out. Like objectively speaking, they really do. For launch, and even a launch window. Yeah,
Miles and Demon Souls are like they're two big hitters, and then Ratchet is announced for earlier next year.
Yeah,
and then Horizon is announced for next year. And then fucking God of War, like that's a crazy, like we didn't get that till this generation, till the tail end of the generation.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's what type of impact will it have? It's gonna be big, man. I mean, God of War. I think God of War Spider-Man took over, but God of War is a top tier. I would say it surpassed Halo last generation. Like for what Halo was to Microsoft.
Yeah. Well, Halo hasn't really mattered for a generation now,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
It's gonna be big.
Wait, you mean it's gonna be huge, Shout out to Trump. Oh man. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, man. The other thing I wanted to make a point, I totally fucking forgot. It was about PlayStations. First they got big, Yeah, I mean they also got that fucking Sackboy shit. If you like that,
they got Sackboy.
I'm getting it. Yeah. Oh, nice. What else do they have? They have the All Destruction All Stars, right? That's another one.
Bugs Nikes isn't first party.
No, it's not first party. Astro Bot, that's coming with the console.
Jeff Keighley's favorite game.
Jeff Keighley's favorite game. I blow on the fucking controller, man. Yeah, I forgot what the fucking point I was gonna make, but yeah, PlayStation, man. All right, moving on to Mr. Roman. I hope I have a question ready. Mr. Roman Ronan. Oh, yes. Okay, this is an interesting one. Okay, besides attending E3, there are two experiences I'd put on my personal gaming bucket list. The first one is going to an esports event in person. It doesn't matter how big or small. And two, spend 24 hours at an internet cafe in Korea. So the question is, if you could do only one of the two, which would you do it? Carlos, I'm going right to you first for obvious reasons. Did you go to any internet cafes when you went to Korea?
Yeah. I didn't spend 24 hours there though. They're cool, man. It's like it's crazy. You know, internet cafes were a thing for like a second in the US. And then they died like right off the bat. But in Korea, they're everywhere, man. Every fucking block has a fucking internet cafe. They're called PC bangs over there.
Oh shit.
Um,
BC
yeah,
Bong?
yeah, PC bang, and it's like you have freaking ultra wide monitors and fucking um, what's it called? Mechanical keyboards and gaming mouses. They have all the games. You can order fucking food. It's crazy, man. So yeah, so which one? So I already done one of them. I guess I would do uh, esports. I always wanted to go to Evo. Um, I'm not really a competitive gamer like with Street Fighter. I played Street Fighter for a bit, but I wasn't never really super competitive with it. But it would be pretty cool, especially since some of my friends are pretty big fans of Street Fighter, and they're not super competitive, but they're moderately competitive, and it'd be cool to go with them and see fucking some dude playing with a PlayStation 1 controller and destroying everyone.
Yeah. By the way, C. Iverson, he just showed up right now. We just answered your question, brother. You missed that shit. I also want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Adam Vale, who just showed up.
Sup, Adam?
What's up, man? I ate
The
some
Rock
bad
win?
nature. No, The Rock didn't win. Randy Orton won. Fucking shit, man. Randy Orton's still going strong. It feels like he's been there forever, but he started when he was like.
No, that was his
21.
grandpa.
So he's been there, but that's what I'm saying. He's been there a long time.
Yeah.
Even with his.
Yeah. All right. For myself, I already been to esports. I probably been to more than I realized, but the first one I remember going to was during E3. They had the fucking Nintendo World Championship. Manny was there. I think Chris was there too. It was at the Xbox or Microsoft Theater. Remember that shit? And it was Super Mario Maker, and it was basically levels made by professional level designers, right? Or influencer designers, and then influencers playing through the levels and shit. That was pretty cool, Yeah. Korean cafe, never been to one, never even thought about it, but from what you told me, that sounds pretty dope. So that's my answer just by default, because I've already been to an esports event, at least because I'm pretty sure I've probably attended some others. It's just in the background, What about Adam? The question is, if you could attend either an esports event or hang out for 24 hours at a Korean internet cafe, which one would you choose?
Evo, remember? I got that
Evo,
fight stick from Chris. I wanted to go pro. I went crazy for a little bit, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this." I was watching all these strategies, and I'm like, "This is it. I'm gonna do it." And then I was like, "Oh shit, I suck.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I don't got the glow. It's not happening for me." No Bruce Leroy here, but man, I would love to do it at least once. Remember Manny when I did that with the Halo and on stage, and I got taken off quick first round. I was pissed. It's what happens when some little kid pops your bubble and it's like, "Yo, you're whack. You may be nice at home, but you're not on this level. Go home." And I was in disbelief. Security had to tell me to get off the stage. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this bitch was camping. He saw where I was spawning. They're like, "Don't matter, get off the stage." I was like, shit.
This child was cheating.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that was at Irving Plaza.
Oh shit, that's crazy. All right, Manny, what about you?
Man, a gaming thing.
I mean, you already been to an esports event, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, I kind of been to an esports event. Oh man,
You don't want to go to a Korean cafe?
no.
All right, so you don't qualify for this question then.
It seems like it's the most. I mean, it's a cafe. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to another country just to go to a fucking cafe. I'm sorry if that's one of your dream things to do, but to be honest, I want to go look around the place. I would much rather want to. I would much rather want to visit one of the development studios.
Yeah.
Any one of them. That's some next level shit right there. At least you get to see the people behind you. You get to see them doing some shit. I don't know.
All right.
Different world.
Yeah. Let's see. Brett. Those are your two choices, by the way: Korean internet cafe or esports event.
Korean Internet Cafe.
All right, get some Korean food. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, man. Like, as much as I like video games, I don't like really the sports context, even when it comes to video game. Like, esports becomes repetitive and boring and about min-maxing. It becomes about every little statistic and not necessarily the skill of the player, but about like iframes and things like that. And it takes all the fun out of it. So it just feels like a chore. Like even getting in a good game of Gears multiplayer after a while just feels like an arena sport, and that's fine. It's fun to play, not so fun to watch.
Yeah, at least for us, you know.
I think the only time when it becomes fun is if your buddies are in it and they're still going. Then you're like in support for them. You're like, all right, kick some ass, represent.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, what the fuck am I talking about? Remember, actually, because I know I did say the disclaimer, right? I said I may have attended other esports things that I don't know. I participated in one last year. I was at that fucking fighting game tournament that was held in New York City. They streamed it on Twitch. I made it to the second round. Yeah, not on Mortal Kombat. It was a Samurai Showdown. I made it to the third round. So I told the story before. The first round, I fucking smoked the guy. Second round, it was me versus my editor Jeffrey. It was tough, but I got him. And then the third round is a professional esports guy who smoked my ass.
Well, that's the one where the
and
guy.
And by the way, oh my god, I'm forgetting his fucking name, but Soul, I think his name is. Cool dude. I know he let me down easy, man. I know he could have gone harder, but him and I were already cool beforehand.
He didn't want to make you. He didn't want to kill you that bad.
Yeah, like I knew he was holding back. I knew he was, because I saw him smoke the fuck out of this guy before me. Like, oh shit, But when he fought me, I'm like, he's taking it easy because we're boys now,
Yeah, you're boys now.
He's
taking it easy on me.
Took it easy on me, but he still destroyed me. All right, Brian, which one of these two would you like to do?
That's a tough one. I say the cafe, just because of game journalists. There's just something about me that I find it so troubling just watching someone play games really badly. Like, okay, there's like watching them play when they don't know what the hell they're doing, and then there's watching them play and they just don't seem to care, or they're just really bad on purpose. And it's like, Jesus Christ, how bad are you? Because I remember once I went to Eurogamer and I was watching these guys play Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, yeah, Black Flag, and they were just really bad at it. It's like, Jesus, like, how do you not see the giant waypoint marker on the screen? It's like it's flashing and saying, "Go here, go here, go here," and they're like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just swimming in the sea." It's like, you not see like the giant orange thing that does not make sense in the world. It's like, no, they don't. And then I watched them play Dark Souls 2 because they had this competition where if you beat the boss, then you get like a T-shirt. And oh my gosh, the queue was like half an hour long, and I was just watching different people play. They maybe got like 3 or 4 hits on the guy and then died. It's like,
wow.
How bad is that? Like, okay, granted, I've not played a Dark Souls game before, but I at least managed to get like 2/3 of his health down, but just 2-3 hits and then they're gone. It's like, oof. And then I remember once I was playing a demo for, it was Shadow of Mordor. Yeah, that was it. So I went to the booth, I started playing, and then the guys there, they were like, "Wow, you're really good at this." It's like, "Yeah, I beat it on PC like not so long ago." And then they're like, "You actually beat the game?" It's like, "Are you surprised I beat the game?" It's like, that's what games are meant for, right? You beat them. And they just seem so shocked that someone played the game and beat it. And they're like, yeah, like throughout the whole day, like you played the game like the best. It's like a freaking game. It's not that difficult, like you hit the square button to like kill them, like, come on, like what am I doing right that they're not doing at all?
Yo,
so yeah, I'd rather not go through that.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. That's happened to me a bunch of times. They're like, "You finished the game." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what you do with games. You fucking beat them,
Or you finished the demo.
Yeah. Oh, I beat the demo all the time. They're always surprised, like, oh, "You beat the demo. You're the first one." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a fucking demo, dude." And I always run through those demos mad fast too. But I remember this one time, it was hilarious. It was Square Enix event. They always used to have these, in the city before Comic-Con. Not this year, obviously, it was the new Deus Ex Human Revolution DLC. They were, showing it off. They're like, hey, have you ever played a game before? I'm like, yeah, I beat that motherfucker last week. They were like, oh, shit. I'm like, what? Like, bro, come on, man. Yeah, I'm like, you sent me the fucking review code. What do you think I was going to do with it? Fucking hilarious. All right, man.
Yeah, that was it was the one that was the enhanced version where they fixed the bosses.
No. It was Human Revolution. It was a DLC. They didn't enhance anything. You're thinking about
okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Mankind Divided. Human Revolution is the one you're talking about. That's what I meant to say. Mankind Divided. The second one. Of the new games. I know they had Deus Ex games back in the day, motherfucker. Like I know that, bitch. I'm talking about the revamp ones. All right, man. Move on. Then we are at another question. Also from Mr. Roman Ronan. All right. From amazing trailer to less than impressive game, which do you think is the worst culprit? He's talking about false advertisement right now. Killzone 2, Destiny, or Watch Dogs? Are there more infamous examples? He goes, I didn't include Anthem because honestly, I didn't think that trailer was that great to begin with. I feel you, brother. When I saw that trailer, I'm like, that's fucking Destiny right there, And that's what it was. So out of those three, and we could also name some worse games to false advertisement. Which one of these was the worst? Killzone 2, Destiny, or Watch Dogs? Yo. This is tough. And the real battle, let's keep it real, and the real battles between Killzone 2 and Watch Dogs, man.
Yeah,
because at least Destiny looked the way it did.
Yeah, it didn't really. It let people down because it didn't have a lot of content at launch, but it didn't really lie. It looked the same as advertised. Watch Dogs didn't. Watch Dogs, from we saw that first launch trailer, like whoa, and then when it came out, we're like whoa. This ain't the same.
You know which one I'm gonna give it to?
Killzone.
I'm gonna give it to Killzone. Because at least Watch Dogs was just the same, was essentially the same game. The only thing was that it was running at a better, with a better computer, right?
Yeah, but even the final PC one did not look like that, man.
No, I'm saying no. They were essentially running it on like a dev unit or whatever their development kit was, right? It wasn't the actual console. It wasn't anything else. It was their own thing, and it was judging about what the future was going to be. At least it was still a running game.
That is
whatever
true.
Killzone was an internal trailer made by Guerrilla, like a proof of concept. But they never at any point told you that this was a proof of concept, and you thought, "Oh, this was real."
Yeah. That's a convincing one.
That's why I choose Killzone, because it's a blatant bait and switch in their part.
I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna agree with that because Killzone, that was a super bait and switch. At least Watch Dogs, it was just like you got that just very downgraded, but it was still that. Killzone, the final game don't even look like that, No fucking game looks like that till this day,
Granted, they got very close, but it was never that.
Here's the thing: the final game actually does have better lighting than that trailer, right? Better light sources and all this stuff, but you could tell that it was CG, man. The rounded edges and all that shit. You can tell the polygons. Yeah, Killzone. I'm gonna go. I agree with you. I agree, sir. Let's see. What about you, Carlos? And you've played Watch Dogs on PC, Mr. Romero. He's muted. Uh-oh. All right. What about the Brett? Brian, what do you have to say?
I lost track of what the original question was.
Which game was worse when it comes to false advertisement? Killzone 2.
Oh, Watch Dogs.
Okay. So
definitely Watch Dogs. The whole being able to jump into other people's game and being a hybrid single player multiplayer game. That was all.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. They did have that, but it was like walled off. The multiplayer aspect.
It was not seamless like they promised.
Yeah. Remember with Division, you didn't get that either, Okay. And Brian, what about you, man?
I have to give it to Watch Dogs. Like they
Man, yo, as far as like the most infamous example of like you didn't get exactly what you. Here's the thing, because I'm tempted to say No Man's Sky, but I think that was also the problem. The trailer that you saw, that was the entire game. That was it. That was like all you got, you know. The shit that happened afterwards, obviously, that was all false advertisement. But he's specifically talking about the trailer, you know. So watch. I mean, whatchamacallit, No Man's Sky did give you what advertised. You fly to a planet, you scout around, you go back into space, go to another planet, you know. All right, man. Let's move on here. Next question is from Tumeke. All right. What has been the best bit of game-related marketing? Series X fridge is pretty crazy in a good way. So let's talk about crazy video game advertisements or marketing that we've seen in history. The fridge is pretty good though. That's a damn good one.
Yeah, the fridge is actually really cool. I like that it's Microsoft being aware. I even commented about this on Twitter. Like, oh man, I can't wait for the life-size Craig statue. Come on, you gotta do it. Own that shit.
Nah, it's just gonna be a bust, you know.
Yeah, it'll probably be a bust. Or they'll actually name the guy. Like how like in some games they actually have the names of the monsters that you're shooting.
Yeah,
and it'll actually say Craig on there.
That'd be awesome.
or there'll be a sequence in there. Damn it, Craig.
Yeah, what about you, Adam? What are some memorable like video game marketing stunts that you or whatever that you've seen in the past?
The most infamous one that Nintendo, the Sega one, that was a big one. That was a big smack in the face early on. We've never seen that at that point.
That is true. Yeah, that changed everything.
Another company in a commercial. It's like, whoa, this isn't just people talking. This is an actual commercial. This company's attacking the other one. Usually they don't say it. They talk about, our competitors. This and that. They actually said them by name. That was a big one. And then Microsoft's From the Womb to the Grave with the baby spitting out and went flying through the air. And it was getting older and older until it was an old man and then just landed in a coffin in the cemetery.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, I'm trying to, because we've kind of answered this before in the form of like, what are your favorite video game ads? But yeah, I do like the what do you call it, the Xbox fridge. Mm-hmm. I wanted that cake in there. That cake looked good. But yeah, we've kind of answered this one before though, so we can move on to the next question. All right. Oh boy. Okay. Who do you think has had the better console build-up from a business and consumer perspective? Xbox Series X with the go hard early, or PlayStation 5 with a slow tease? And he wants us answers from both ends, consumer perspective and business perspective.
The Xbox Series X, no question. It's not even close.
I agree. They've had it better,
Xbox Series X, Xbox as a brand was in its last fucking legs. And somehow Microsoft has revived it and gotten a lot of fucking hype for it. Going back to the video game awards when no one was expecting for anyone to announce a console.
Yeah, that was a megaton.
It was a fucking megaton. And they've been doing all of these announcements in between. It's like, it was just a slight progression. Every month there was like something. And like I mentioned, Xbox was in its, like I mentioned, it's in its last legs, and now it's like I can see this as a viable competitor to the PlayStation now.
Never give up. Never surrender.
I wouldn't have said that November of last year. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. So definitely Xbox. Here's the funny thing, though, right? Even though, and we've said this a million times, like Xbox is doing a way better job advertising their console, Sony's still reaping more of the rewards. They're still getting more hype,
Yeah. But they're
no matter what
This
Xbox.
is their past record, though.
Yeah, no, it is because of we've said it before, because of the success of the PS4, obviously. And think about it, even though the Xbox is doing a way better job, the Xbox One is fucking things up for them. People are like, oh, that shit was whack,
It's the games. We that's all they need now. They just need the games.
Yeah.
Everything else is going perfect for them. They just need the
They just
games.
need the games.
To produce. And if the games that start coming out are butter games, then that's it. But right now, if this was a prize fight, we got one that everybody's really interested in as the underdog, and they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's look at this guy's promos. Let's see what he got. But if he gets in the ring and he can't throw punches and kicks, it's fucking over. And those punches and kicks from Microsoft are the games.
Yeah, they need them. Again, that's Xbox's biggest problem. They're doing everything right when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the system. They're doing everything right. But those games need to come, man. Without the games, it doesn't fucking matter, And on the flip side, Sony has been fucking up everything with the marketing, right? But if they have the games, nobody's gonna give a shit about all that stuff,
Yeah. At the end of the day, before just to launch till in 2 weeks from now, all what they've done is just get off the gate. If they're doing a 100-meter dash, all those 100 meters are still left to go, and that's the games. The games are the legs that carry you through the finish line.
Yep. So Microsoft needs to bring them. And here's the thing: we're probably not going to see those big games for another year or two. So let's see if they can hold out for that long, Because again, whether they're advertising the most, Game Pass, okay, old games on a new system, that's not going to be enough, man. It's not going to be enough. Until those Bethesda games start dropping, then things could change. But at the moment, foreseeable future, I don't know, man. Those old games ain't going to do it, man. Meanwhile, Sony say again. I've been critical of the fucking launch lineup on you, and I'm like, they at least have actual PlayStation exclusives. Microsoft doesn't have shit. As far as exclusives, nothing. Halo was the big one. Look what happened.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Microsoft. Are you talking in general or at launch?
Talking about at launch and even the first year. I'm going to go that far. Microsoft, I'm going to,
Okay.
this my.
So what's coming out in the first year for PlayStation?
Oh, we already named them 20 minutes ago. Oh, we got fucking, Horizon Zero Dawn 2. We got Spider-Man. We got fucking Ratchet and Clank. Those are for the big games. And then we have the other shit like Destruction All-Stars and Sackboy and all this other shit. I can't name an Xbox exclusive that's coming in the next year. Maybe Hellblade is the only one,
We got the Gears Tactics.
Okay, that's one, but again, that's an old game too. It's already out.
The Medium coming out in December.
Thank you for mentioning that because I always keep forgetting about that fun game.
Everyone forgets that. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, by the way, Godfall, Demon Souls, Bread. That's some more PlayStations are getting. So yeah, Medium could be one. Like Brian said, everybody forgets that, including me. I'm like, what the fuck's a Medium? Maybe it could be a sleeper hit.
World, right?
I see a lot of. I'll be honest. I see a lot of filler on both sides. The loss of Halo was a big one, but okay. So we've got Horizon, we've got Ratchet and Clank,
Demon Souls,
Spider-Man,
Godfall.
You were all talking shit on Godfall and how it was a past
bargain bin. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Until it turns into what exclusives they have.
Brett, you're not
fucking heavy hitter stand on the front lines.
You're not understanding what we're saying. I'm not talking about what I'm looking forward to. I'm telling you what's there. If you look at what PlayStation has to offer as far as and Microsoft has to offer, PlayStation has more. Understand?
Yeah, dude. I was just literally in terms of context, I was just talking about playable games.
Yeah.
Good games, decent games,
we can't
not
say that.
Just shovelware.
We don't know if these games are going to be Godfall.
So
how I
you heard
feel
it
about
here first. You heard it here first, people. Tony says Godfall is not a Destiny shovelware type game.
What the what? What
No,
what the hell did he?
Brett,
I don't even know.
are you talking?
What the fuck did he? Hold on, I'm so confused right now. What did I say?
I was talking about games that are. I said I wasn't really super impressed. I see a lot of shovelware games or cheap games that aren't really going to last, and you countered me with Godfall, thus saying, you believe that Godfall is going to be a quality title.
No, I didn't say. You're putting words in my fucking mouth, bro. I didn't say that. I said your question was your question.
Is Godfall is Godfall going to be a decent game, or is it going to be part of the shovelware pile?
No, it's going to be a big selling game because there's nothing fucking to buy, and that game actually looks AAA. It doesn't matter what my feelings are about the game. It's going to be a huge seller for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, just because
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, just because I don't give a fuck about the game. No, but my point is because you were saying, what does Sony have? And I told you what Sony has. That's all I heard.
Wasn't asking what dude.
Yeah, you did. Rewind the tape. You said what does Sony have.
All right, never mind. I'm done.
All right, yeah.
You listen to the first half of the question and assume I'm talking about something else.
Yeah, we're all right, because we're answering two different things.
I think all of us heard you the way Tony heard you. I don't know.
What about you guys in the chat? What did Brett ask?
The thing I was saying was, nobody looks like they have really innovative or new games. The launch of this generation.
No. You said
both sides. Miles Morales is an expansion. Demon's Souls is a remake.
Brett, you said nobody has anything in reality. That's all you said.
I didn't say no.
He didn't say that reality. Either. Yeah. He said both of them look
No, he said there's nothing on either side. I started the conversation with,
I don't see anything on either side. Both companies are mostly shoveling the big pile of fucking shovelware.
You started off right. You expanded on what you said, and you never said the expanded part. You just said there's nothing on either side.
I did. Go back.
Yeah, but you didn't say that. I'm telling you, you did. I'm agreeing with you. Are you listening to me? I'm telling you.
You
that's
said
what
I didn't
exactly.
Expand on it though.
No, you didn't expand on it. You just said there's nothing on either side, and that's it. And then Tony said, no, there's PlayStation has Godfall and Demon's Souls and Miles and he went on a list, and then he's like, as compared to whatever that game was that Brian mentioned, and then he said, so you're saying that Godfall is a or whatever you asked, and it's like, no, you just literally said there's nothing on either side. So you just mentioned something that was on one side,
but you
didn't like his answer.
But you see why do you see how that doesn't make sense if you don't include the part where I was saying that I don't see any playable games on either side? I did clarify that. Apparently, I just ran out, or my mic fucking cut out, or something.
Maybe.
But at least, I'm not impressed with anything on either side. The only stuff that we have on Sony's side, I'm not giving credit to, because it's a fucking remake and an expansion. That shouldn't be the kind of shit I'm excited about on a launch. No, I'm not saying Sony doesn't have more shit. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I'm not excited. This isn't an exclusive thing. This isn't a PlayStation or Xbox thing. I'm just saying I'm not excited about the games on either side.
Hey, I don't blame you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm not excited either for these fucking things. I'm just saying in terms of volume, but at least we're on the same page now. Because again, I had to take a step back. I'm like, because I said Sony doesn't have fucking shit, and I look back, I'm like, oh, they actually do have a bunch of shit. It's just I don't care about any of this stuff. But Xbox has nothing. They have shit. They have medium. Okay, there you go.
Again, why does this always need to turn into what about like the comparison against the other guy fanboy bullshit? Like, you're talking about how many things Sony has. Why do you think Sony has? Why do you even need to bring up Microsoft? Because we're comparing. Because we're comparing. That's the question. We're comparing. Is it our comparison? You can't compare Sony to Sony. You're comparing Sony to Xbox.
The question is, which had a better
that wrote a long time ago.
Brett, the question literally is, which had a better build-up, the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5? We all agreed it was the Xbox Series X.
Okay.
I don't know where the fanboy bullshit is
about
coming in here.
Not games.
We're saying we just expanded on the topic. Saying it's pretty simple. We all agree it was Xbox, so we wanted to expand on like to keep talking about this stuff and like but the most important part is
but that's not what the question was about.
Yeah, no, but we answered the question. We answered the
question.
Brett, the question, we answered it within 5 seconds because it's a very simple answer. Xbox had the better marketing, no question about it. So to keep it going, we expanded on it. Yeah.
Okay, but then you just said the conversation we were having when I said that I was talking about Jesus, you people.
You people. What do you mean, people?
Yeah, guys, calm it down, guys. Calm it down. No, Brett. Let me just walk it through. So the conversation, the first question was, what, who had the better marketing? We said Xbox, right?
And then we moved off of that.
And then we transitioned to, but the marketing won't mean shit unless you have games. And then we start comparing the games. That's where it came to.
And then I started talking about how I'm not excited for either one.
Yes.
And you said you're comparing the games. And then you said that was literally the question, but it wasn't the question. We answered the question in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, or actually, you're right. You're right about that. I'll give you that. So that was the topic of when we moved on. I'll give you that. Maybe that something got lost in translation there. Remember, the question transitioned to us talking about games. So the transition point.
And I transitioned it to when I was talking about in terms of like we kind of moved on from there, and then I kind of brought up I'm not excited about either one, and now we're sitting recapping a conversation / argument that is literally all recorded. Can we just move on?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Yo, you doing good, bro?
Damn. You're right, brother. I'm chilling right now.
Boring as shit for the fans.
Unless
they just like hearing me being antagonized, which case fine, say so.
No one's antagonizing you, brother. We're just talking, man.
Yo, man, we're literally having a conversation.
Yeah, we're just having a conversation, And Brett, I agree with you. Both liners are whack. Fuck that shit, Oh man. All right, let's move on to the last question.
I'm just of the mindset. Before we go, I'm just of the mindset. I refuse to applaud Sony for the fact that the first 2 games that they're really coming out are kind of half-baked games. Yes, it's better, but I'm not giving them a fucking trophy for it.
Yeah, I agree with you. No one here is giving them a trophy for it. Fuck that shit. We're still holding those motherfuckers to the fire, even though I got the PlayStation hat on. Fuck that. Again, like you said, you have an expansion game and a fucking remake of a PS3 game. Whoop-de-fucking do, But it's still more than Microsoft.
Nobody gets trophies.
Yeah,
this launch generation sucks.
It sucks. It's terrible. Brad, I've gotten so much shit on Twitter when I say this shit, man. I gotten so much fucking shit. Or you're fucking crazy. Look at all these games coming out. Whack, 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 whack. Don't care.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. You saw it in the launch lineup. I mean, like, they're just throwing Hail Marys left and right.
Yeah, but again,
some of them are gonna stick. Some of them are gonna be good games. But again, it's like you guys are just fucking playing shit everywhere.
Yeah. All right, we'll see, man.
See, that's what we just expanded on that conversation.
Yeah, see that's how.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, throw down, baby. All right, let's move on, man. Yeah. Last question of the night, people.
What?
And it's from a new listener.
Ooh.
Arctic M77, and before his question, he has a little statement. He goes, "Hey guys, I'm a new listener here from Gamertag Radio. The past few shows of Throwdown have been great. I'll need to go back and listen to the backlog of episodes. Welcome aboard, sir."
Welcome
to the Throwdown. All right, so his question is, question about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Do you think consumers are going to get fatigued with Assassin's Creed if Valhalla will have the same RPG elements that were in Origins and Odyssey? Here's the thing. People got tired of Assassin's Creed or fatigued with Assassin's Creed because they release games every single year. It wasn't about the mechanics. It was about the fact that the frequency was too much. They haven't done that in a long time,
It was the same gameplay. Go find this, go unlock this area.
Oh, it was, but Adam, every year it makes it a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think if Assassin's Creed Valhalla doesn't do well, it won't be because it's too much like the last 2 games. It'll just be because of some, it could be, but it won't be because of because when did Odyssey come out? 2018, right? And then Assassin's Creed Origins, like 2016. So we've been getting a break, So Call of Duty, that comes out every fucking year too. It's the same game every single year, but people aren't tired of those.
Don't even go there. Well,
that by the way, that's Adam's weak spot. You can't diss Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
I'll diss it though.
Don't talk about
Adam. Yo, Adam.
Adam, we're not talking about Duty no more, man. You good?
No. We are talking about duty.
Oh,
I'm getting it.
You're getting what?
Duty, man.
You get
Call of
it?
Duty, man. Come on.
Oh, you're gonna get the Call of Duty? All right, cool.
Yeah,
All
man.
right,
I
cool,
can't
cool.
wait.
Yo, fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I want somebody to play with me this Halloween. Let's play this fucking Halloween.
Oh,
haunted house shit that they
I'll
got
ask
going.
around. I'll ask around.
Yeah, let's play it. Let's do it. I mean, Manny said he's gonna do it. Manny's gonna do it. Oh, I read that at fakenews.com.
Yo, Manny busting on Megasense?
You know?
Yeah.
Damn, I don't think I've ever seen Manny play an FPS.
Nope, don't like him.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I mean, just don't care for him. I mean, there's only like I can literally count on the finger on my fingers how many first person games. 3.
Damn. Portal 2.
The original Doom.
Yeah.
Portal 2
And BioShock Infinite.
And BioShock Infinite.
There you go.
Yo, man. So, yeah, I agree with Tony. Like Valhalla. I mean, Assassin's Creed got because they were doing it every fucking year, and it's like, oh, it's even the Assassin's 2 series. It was 3 games. They were all good, but it was the same thing. Like essentially like the same gameplay. Like it was just different parts of the story, but even that kind of got a little bit saturated. And then 3 came out, and everyone fucking hated that.
Yeah, but the real nail in the coffin was fucking Unity, man. That's what we're like, yo, okay, you guys need to take a break right now. This is crazy, So there's no fatigue right now. That's out of the factor. So if Valhalla fails, it's gonna be for some other reason,
It would just be whack if the story.
Yeah, it's just whack. Yeah, it's the only reason.
I mean, the only knock that I have on it right now, right off the bat, is just that it doesn't have co-op. This would be perfect, You got the Viking ship, you get all your Viking buddies, and be like, all right, let's go and explore and do some shit. But no, it's single player, and they said they have no interest in expanding on it with co-op or multiplayer or anything like that. I was like, that sucks.
Yeah, because it's crazy. Because going back to Unity, that had co-op.
That's what, yeah, that go Division, perfect. There you go. That's jump in and out, co-op, 4-player. That's it. Bring it on the Viking level. You can just go pick up somebody. Yo, you just spawned in. Yeah, I'm on this other island. Come over here. And then you go and you pick them up on your boat, and then you go and you start raiding other areas. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Shit is crazy, man. All right, so that's that for us, people. So, again, we want to give a huge shout-out to You Should Know Me Too, a.k.a. D's Nuts 1983, for winning the console, PlayStation 5, man.
Wait, so he wanted the 5.
The 5, yep.
I thought we said Xbox. I thought he said he wanted
No,
Xbox.
he wanted PlayStation 5, man. He even LOL. He's like PlayStation, come on now,
He literally said it in the chat.
Yeah, he said it in chat. He was there that night, man. Weren't you there, Adam?
Yeah, I thought he said the Xbox.
No, nobody wanted that shit. Oh man, I talk so much shit, man. So yeah, shout out to him. I hope you enjoy it, brother. He's not going to be able to play until like Christmas time, but your console will be waiting for you, man, for sure.
Well, I mean, by then, all the games, a bunch of the games, the launch lineup, and all the other stuff that's coming is going to be out. So you're going to have a lot to play during the holidays.
Play some Cyberpunk, man. Also, speaking about contest, people. Not next week or this week, the week after that, first week of November, we're launching Next Gen November, man. Every single week of November, we're going to be giving away a free Next Gen game to a lucky winner. It's going to be a lot of fun. I actually did a little video for that. Promo will probably go up on Monday, shot it in the city, good stuff. So yeah, Next Gen November, man. We'll have more details. The video's just a tease, by the way. We'll have a full video explaining everything. Probably, the week of November. What episode is that going to be? It's going to be 309, I believe. Yeah, episode 309 of Throwdown. That's going to be Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. November 5th. So we'll have a video for you before that, just explaining everything, because we're going to ask a little bit more of you this time, kind of curtail some of that shenanigans that almost happened with the last contest, but we were on top of it. Because, by the way, I was getting messages like, "Yo, Tony, there's a lot of people that made accounts that were like, it's burners." So like, yeah, we knew that, brother. Mm-hmm. We were on top of that shit. A lot of people in the chat were giving us props.
Shout out to Carlos.
Carlos, man, a hawk.
How many names do we have?
Oh, like
250, right? More than that.
Yeah, there's over
250.
Yeah.
Well, there was 300 and some entries, like replies on the tweet. Some were like, duplicates, and people. Me and Tony talked about someone that answered twice, someone we know, and we're like, should we disqualify this person? But but then there was like accounts that that were literally created like a week before, no followers and we're only following one account, and that was Throwdown, and the only tweet they did was the reply. So it's like, yeah, those accounts, I don't think we want to count those people, because it could be just one person making 5 accounts. And
yeah, apparently one guy boasted about like, yeah, I made 5 accounts, I'm gonna win this motherfucker. Like you fucking dumbass, man.
Hey, number one, don't ever go on the fucking Twitter and brag about that shit, because somebody's gonna find that out.
Yeah,
I will find you.
Stupid, man. I'm just glad
find you.
Yeah, I'm also glad that the guy who won is somebody that we know. It's like, oh shit, like, cause sometimes we gotta hunt motherfuckers,
Oh yeah.
Because when I saw the name, I didn't know These Nuts, right? That shit was fucking hilarious. Like, how appropriate for Throwdown is that the contest one is called These Nuts, But I didn't know that name. I just knew You Should Know Me. That's how I know him, because I know him from Twitch. I didn't know him on Twitter.
Yep.
He was happy in a motherfucker too, man. That was good.
And he's in our Discord.
Yeah, man. That, and I think that's where I know him from that name as well. So no, but again, I don't want to. I'll ask him for permission. So because I don't want to say what his job is, but he is a person that had to work this entire time. Adam, he had to work this entire time. Basically, he kept us alive by you know what I'm saying. He's one of those guys. So I'm glad he won.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely somebody that kept the country going. So that's very good, man. Yeah, man. Another good episode from Throwdown. You already know how it is, man. You already know. So make sure you follow us on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube and join our Discord. You can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. You can visit throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. Find links to all that shit in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Carlos Romero.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week, people.
Brett Murdoch. Oh, he's muted. It's been Real Party People. And Brian Manjoma.
You gotta love those farmers, man.
Fuck them.
Informers.
Informers. I think you boom boom down. All right, let's stop. All right.
You know the jam.
Yeah, you already know, man. Snow, that's my boy right there. But whatever happened to Snow? Anyway,
He's still in jail.
Damn, he went to jail? What the fuck?
He went to jail for some shady shit. He was a crazy Canadian.
Wow, that's crazy. All right.
He's one of the not so nice Canadians.
Exactly.
All right, let's stop before we turn. We're just going to talk about Snow for the next half an hour, man. All right, people. Later.
Peace.
Peace.
Laters.